Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, before I get started, just give you a few examples of things that's happened in the world of boxing and the world that's happened in daylight. So you can understand the things happen in daylight. That's why I got these on, because it just happens in daylight. That's why you guys just got to block it out. Things that happen in daylight in boxing. Let me give a couple examples. Let me say Jaime Munguia was the mandatory for Demetrius Andrade. Decided, I am not fighting him. He's too hard. Jaime Munguia was the mandatory for Jamal Charlo at 160 pounds. I'm not fighting him. He's too hard. Canelo Alvarez, the mandatory for Demetrius Andrade at 154. I'm not fighting him. He's too hard. Virgil Ortiz, the mandatory for Terrence Crawford at 147. I'm not fighting him. He's too hard. Ryan Garcia, the mandatory for Devin Haney at 135 pounds. I'm not fighting him. He's too hard. Right? Let's go to something. Isaac Cruz was supposed to fight an eliminator fight against Shakur Stevenson. I'm not doing that. That's too hard. Jose Ramirez was supposed to fight an eliminator against, if I'm not mistaken, the left-hand brother that's gotten beat recently. His name is going to hit me. I ain't doing that. I'm going to do something else. Let me see. If I got another eliminator, William Zepeda, supposed to fight eliminator, or was it? Or the mandatory for Shakur Stevenson, didn't do it for a long time, finally being dragged to do that. Canelo Alvarez was ordered to fight Gennady Golovkin and told the WBC, I am not doing that. So you can keep your belt. Right? Okay? So those things happen in daylight. Or here's one, just to go somewhere else. A bunch of terrorists, about 20,000, attacks the American Congress during free and fair elections and aren't called terrorists, are pardoned and run around with people in New Russia. Never were called terrorists. For those who think, well, what do you mean terrorists? They just went to the Congress, killed a couple of people, and, wasn't that bad. Imagine just 1/10 of those that were Muslim, saying Allah Akbar, just 1/10. What would we have called that? That happened also in daylight. So things happen in daylight. I'm trying to get this out so you can understand that things just happen in the daylight. It's how you perceive them and who does them, right? It's that damn simple. So we can move forward now. Devin Haney. I got there, didn't I? Devin Haney has offered to fight Teofimo Lopez, right? Oh, something else that happened in daylight. Canelo Alvarez was supposed to fight his mandatory in Jamal Charlo, and the WBC made up a new egregious belt called the franchise title, right? And did it so hastily that they didn't even know how to define it. They didn't even know how to define it. What is that? Well, it's a belt. It's not really a belt. It's just a title that we're given to people who've done significant things to boxing, right? And then took the significance away from the real belt, right? Right, and that happened in daylight. We don't even know where it is right now because it's not needed anymore. Franchise title. Did that for Canelo. So Devin Haney has offered to fight Teofimo Lopez, because of the racist comments and stuff like that. And, they both at 147 pounds now. Say, hey, I'll fight Teofimo Lopez right now. Teofimo Lopez has declined. Something else that happened in daylight, because of the franchise title, which wasn't transferable, Teofimo Lopez beats Lomachenko, who also had got a franchise title because he didn't want to fight Devin Haney, who was his mandatory, which also happened in daylight. Devin Haney's Lomachenko's mandatory. Lomachenko doesn't want to fight him. Asked for that franchise title, that new thing, right? Got it. And they said it's not transferable because Devin Haney and Jamal Charlo said, well, I will fight those guys for that new franchise title. No, y'all can't fight for it. Let Teofimo Lopez fight Lomachenko, and then it was transferable. Also, in daylight. Is it getting too, you guys getting blinded? Get some of these. You need them. This happens in daylight. It blinds the hell out of you. Right? Daylight. So, we got the franchise title with Teofimo Lopez. He started calling himself Undisputed. In daylight, even though we know he wasn't, but he just did it because he knows there's enough people who's, gonna roll with him, right? So in daylight, he called himself Undisputed and ran around with a duck on his head saying he's dunking Devin Haney. Also, in daylight. All right? So, are we supposed to ignore what we see in daylight or something like that? So he won't fight Devin Haney again right now, but here is the news for most of you guys who consider it good because you don't pay attention to what's happening in daylight. He's saying, I ain't no need to fight Devin Haney because I'm going after Jermaine Boots Ennis. That fight's going to happen just as quick as Canelo Alvarez is going to fight David Benavidez. Yeah, really? Let me show you something. I call it the Jermaine Ortiz effect. Right? Jermaine Ortiz is like the Scottie Pippen of boxing. Right? Awesome as hell. You know he's awesome as hell. You see it with your eyes, but you act like you don't see it. Like Michael Jordan was playing 6 years, right, before Scottie Pippen came and didn't win anything, right? Scoring titles. That's what he won. Scottie Pippen came on his team, was able to defend the 1 position all the way to the 5 position. The best defender in the league with Hakeem Olajuwon together, of course, and bringing the ball up, facilitating, and can score. Then we start winning. And we act like Scottie Pippen, like Jordan, it was just Jordan and Scottie Pippen. He was going to win something without Scottie Pippen. I don't know about that. Scottie Pippen damn near went to the conference finals without Jordan. So Scottie Pippen, it's just like Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz, in daylight, beat Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko. And you know why he's so awesome? Because neither one of them wanted to rematch him. Jermaine Ortiz is one of the baddest dudes running around here, and we act like we ain't seen it. Listen, Jermaine Ortiz, your boy Jermaine Boots Ennis is a bigger version of Jermaine Ortiz with a little bit more punching power, right? Teofimo Lopez can't get Jermaine Ortiz. Let me tell you something. If Jermaine Ortiz versus Lomachenko or Teofimo Lopez fights again, I'm betting on Jermaine Ortiz to beat them, either one of them. So the same goes for Jermaine Boots Ennis. Teofimo Lopez is just talking about Jermaine Boots Ennis, right? If he does step in the ring with him, God bless him. He gonna get his ass whooped, right? But, good if he go up in there, right? But my point is, I've watched him fight Claggart. I've watched him fight Jermaine Ortiz. I've watched him fight Sandor Martin, which means I ain't thinking that he's even thinking that he can beat no Jermaine Boots Ennis. But hey, cool. If you guys keep not seeing what's happening in front of you, I don't think he's fighting damn Jermaine Boots Ennis because of the Jermaine Ortiz effect. And he ain't never fighting Devin Haney either. And here's the thing about Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson and anybody else and Floyd Mayweather and anybody else who's supposed to be feathered-fisted. I've told you the 5F. Feathered-fisted fighters can't get no effing fights. 5 Fs. They never do. You know why? And I'm going to tell you guys again why feather-fisted fighters don't get fights. Because when you get knocked out by somebody, right, you can just say, I made a mistake and I'm going to come back. I just didn't pay attention for a second. Against a feather-fisted fighter, he beats your ass for 12 rounds and you don't have no excuses of why you got beat for 12 rounds because you were outclassed. Outclassed is not easy to make an excuse for as being, I made a mistake and got knocked the hell out. Or I got hurt and then they had to stop the fight. That's easier to make an excuse for than I was dominated by someone who's better than me. Do you get it? So hell no, he ain't fighting no Jermaine Boots Ennis, and the feather-fistedness of Haney is the reason why he ain't fighting him either. Y'all got that? Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.